optimism and pessimism. Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about optimism and pessimism. So firstly, let's define optimism. Optimism is confidence about the future. Confidence that you will achieve the outcomes you want to achieve. That you will achieve success in your life, in particular events. Now, let's define pessimism. So pessimism is a tendency to believe that the worst will occur. That the worst possible things will occur in particular events. And also adverse outcomes, outcomes that you don't want to occur. You believe that they will happen. So, why should you be an optimist? Well, firstly, you should be an optimist because it's a better starting mindset towards life in general. For instance, if you're optimistic, you're going to be confident, you're going to be more positive towards life, and your attitude, your outlook is going to be more positive. And so you will be happy, and you're more likely to have a smile on your face, and you're going to be more comfortable and more positive, and that will shine through in what you do, and that will influence others as well. That mindset will encourage others to be positive too. Secondly, it is likely that mindset influences what you want to occur. So if you're optimistic and you think that you will achieve this outcome, then it is likely you will achieve that outcome because that mindset has influenced the events that will occur. So, why shouldn't you be a pessimist? Well, firstly, that creates an undesirable starting mindset. So if you're a pessimist, you're going to have a negative outlook and a negative attitude to life. So you're going to expect bad things to occur, things that you don't want to occur. And that will influence the other people around you. That will cause them to feel more inclined to be negative. And it's not going to be beneficial for you either, because you're not going to be happy. You're more likely to become depressed, and so you'll have difficulty in taking on the challenges of life. In fact, even living life may prove the greatest challenge of all. And secondly, that mindset likely influences the outcome you want. So if you're a pessimist, you think that the outcome you don't want will occur, that the worst one will occur, and so that is more likely to transpire. So there is no logic in that basis in being a pessimist, because that just encourages events that you don't want to occur. I'm not sure if there's empirical evidence that mindset does influence the outcome you want to occur, but I would say it's very imperative you have the correct mindset, and I would say it is indeed likely it does influence the outcome you want to occur. We may not know for sure, but we must assume that it does have an influence to at least some extent, and let's assume it does have a huge influence on the outcome we want to occur. So we have to get that correct mindset to bring about such outcomes we desire. So that is why you should be an optimist instead of a pessimist. Well, you may think being a pessimist isn't necessarily so detrimental if you expect disappointment, because then that way you may argue that you can't get disappointed if you expect it. But that mindset is totally illogical and completely flawed, because if you expect disappointment, then logically you're going to receive the adverse outcome that you think you're going to receive, and so you would likely not receive the outcome you want. And also, logically speaking, if you expect disappointment, then wouldn't the outcome be even more adverse than what it would have been if you were an optimist? Because you see, you expect disappointment. So you may have expected a particular outcome to occur which was adverse, but actually, since you expected disappointment, it was even worse than that outcome you expected, because that outcome was disappointing, and so it was worse than the expectations. Whereas, if you're an optimist, such disappointment is much less likely because of that positive mindset and because of that outlook in life. Okay, we can't deny the possibility that you can receive disappointment, But the truth is, by that logic too, it is also possible that you can always receive the outcome you want to receive, attain whatever you want, achieve your desires, because anything is possible. Therefore, it is possible to always be an optimist and never get disappointed. So that is why you should be an optimist instead of a pessimist. And that is why you should be an optimist every day of your life and approach the challenges of life with a smile on your face. So that way you will become illuminated by the glistening sunshine. If you were an optimist who played poker, you would lay your cards on the table and you would always win, because you are not truly a gambler. So that is why you should be an optimist. So don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, and also share it to your friends, share it to anyone you know if you thought it was interesting, illuminating, inspiring. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new. I've been happy. Remain tenacious and exhibit freedom.